Savant layer. Layer lowdown. This layer talks about how individuals with autism may have really special skills that few could comprehend. It discusses how they have genius-level skills in certain areas that they are really interested in. Sometimes these areas of interest may be things that you yourself find interesting, and sometimes they might not. It's always good to be open-minded and willing to learn new things. Who knows? You might pick up on a new interest afterwards. This is a great way to make friends with individuals that have autism as well. Into the layer. In my last book, I talked about the cool skills I have as an individual with autism. One of those skills is my knowledge of calendars. If you give me any date of any month of any year between 1901 and 2099, I can state the day of the week within seconds. Okay, sometimes it might take me a full minute or two, but the point is that's a skill I've been able to do since I was 4 years old. If you ask me when August 17th, 1999 was, within seconds, I could tell you it was on a Tuesday. Or if you ask me when April 30th, 2056 will be, I could tell you it will be on a Sunday. Most people doubt that skill until they use a cell phone or something to confirm that I'm correct. It's always amusing to see people try to expose the secret to how I do that trick. They search on Google, they think about it mathematically and scientifically, but to no avail. That's one of my best kept secrets that no one can discover. This skill, as well as several other of my special skills, revolve around one central factor that coincides with my autism. I am a savant. Savants essentially are individuals who may or may not have autism, but because of the way their minds work, they have special abilities. Some savants are calendrical savants, like myself. Some savants have skills in art, in which they make paintings that could potentially rival art museum paintings. Definitely not me. Some are talented at creating music and or playing instruments. Some have exceptional mechanical skills. My savant skills manifest themselves in the calendar, mathematical skills, perfect pitch, and memory in general. In terms of mathematical skills, there was a point in time where if you give me any number between 1 and 70, I could square it in my head. This means if you give me 49, I could tell you 49 squared is 2,401. I haven't done this in a few years, but I'm sure I could train myself to do it again. The bond I have with numbers is deep. I love numbers. So this is when we get to the parts of me not fully understanding why I am the way I am. I don't know why my relationship with numbers is so strong. It just is. Numbers have a major impact on what I do for the day. Numbers help me determine what outfit to wear for the day. They have a major impact on what songs I like to listen to. Numbers on the calendar have helped strengthen my understanding of the concept of a calendar and how the days of the week function. It truly is fascinating. Thinking about things like this have always meant far more to me than thinking about who's getting the winning touchdown at the football game. Yeah, that last statement is a foreshadowing of some of the issues I've had, which will be discussed in later layers. When I was growing up, my mother always praised me and pointed out my unusual love for math. I do have a fascination for mathematical content and concepts. Even to this day, in my free time, I enjoy looking up how many factors certain numbers have. For anyone that may not know, factors are numbers that another number can be divisible by. For example, 9 can be divided by 3. 3 is a factor of 9. 576 can be divided by 24. 24 is a factor of 576. Contrary to what people might believe, I was not an academic scholar in math. In high school, my highest math class was Algebra 2, in which I had a D average. Algebra 2 is a junior level math course, by the way. My love for math is not reflected by my academics in school. It's reflected by my general fascination with numbers and what they can do. When it comes to music, I have something called perfect pitch. This means if someone makes a sound, I can name the note. I can name the key in which the song is sung. For example, Katy Perry's Firework is predominantly sung in G sharp. F and F sharp are my favorite keys, by the way, as well as B. Music is very important to me. As stated previously, my fascination with music and numbers coincides heavily with each other. My Savant skills in music have actually helped me play songs on the piano. Mind you, when I was playing the songs, I mean the most basic key-by-key versions of it. I do not know how to play chords. I differentiate music notes by assigning colors to them. You heard me. The clearest way I can describe it is by using piano keys as an example. When I think of the white keys on the piano, each note generally has lighter colors. When I think of black keys on the piano, usually darker colors are assigned. It's just how my mind works. I love being able to listen to songs and point out different instruments to an extent that are played. I really enjoy singing. I wouldn't necessarily want to test my skills against Mariah Carey, but I think I have a pretty good voice. I sing at my church in front of other people. Sometimes I even sing in my church choir. The caveat is, I don't know how to read music at this time. My amazingly talented church music director is working with me to be able to understand the actual language of music better. However, what's been helping me sing at church is my Savant skill for perfect pitch. Once I hear a song, I can write out the letter of each note and then sing it based on the flow of the song from which I remembered it. At times, I have the opportunity to cantor or sing in front of my church. In terms of church music, my favorite song by far is called Taste and See by Dr. James Moore Jr. I love that song since the first time I remember hearing it on Sunday, January 15th, 2006. My choir director made sure I got to sing it for the first time I got to cantor, which was on Sunday, July 11th, 2021. I've been very fortunate to receive applause from the congregation, members of the church, and the priests. It pleases me to no end how my relationship with music helps shape me. Another fun fact is my understanding of Chicago trains. I memorize the start and stop destination of every L train in Chicago. And I have a very good understanding of how the Chicago Metro works. Did you know that the Metro station in Arlington Heights, where I used to live years ago, is one of the busiest? The line route Arlington Heights is on is also the longest train route for Metro, going all the way northwest to Harvard, Illinois. Most people don't care about these facts, but they interest me. I also memorize a lot of the train car placement patterns at the Juliet Metro station, based on the size of the windows and other key components. I have the entire Juliet Rock Island station memorized in terms of all the stops it makes and orders of those stops, as well as some of the train times. My sister has actually used this to her benefit whenever she takes the Metro. I can tell her exactly what cars have electrical outlets for her to use. It's the cars with the blue seats, by the way, that might actually have them. I know that on an average weekend day, most trains have 6 cars. And during rush hour, they have 9 to 10 cars on average. But if there is a special event on the weekend, those trains can have 9 or 10 cars. Almost every train ends with blue seat cars with really big windows. I'm sure adults can relate to this one. I'm my own human GPS. I love looking at a map and making up my own directions on how to get somewhere. I can probably count off my hand how many times a year I opened up GPS. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the point. I know all the exit names and numbers on Interstate 355, my favorite highway, by the way. My mom has been trying to convince me for years to become a road engineer because of my understanding of the roads and highways. This even extends to how traffic lights work. However, my true passion will be discussed as the book progresses. I can also remember what days within the school year some of my teachers gave homework for long periods of time. For example, I remember the days my 7th grade language arts teacher gave homework for nearly the entire year, with the exception of a few days. The same can be said for several of my teachers. I even remember finer details of this. On Tuesday, October 21st, 2008, my math teacher assigned us homework to review for a test. I forgot the page number, but remember it was questions 9 through 48. Getting 30 to 40 questions for homework was normal back then.